Welcome back to Houston Life. Music has the power to connect, inspire, and educate, but sadly, not all children have access to music education. That's why the duo behind Prelude Music Foundation created their organization more than 10 years ago.
Well, this duo is Ana Trevino Godfrey and Jonathan Godfrey. They're using their musical talents to bring joy and learning to young children in underserved communities. And now they're inviting families across Houston to a special free concert, which is designed just for kids. They are here now. They just sang Derek Happy Birthday in the commercial break.
Loved it.
Oh my gosh. This, you hear the mission for giving underserved kids a chance to music, and everyone says yes, but absolutely. But you guys are out there really doing it. What inspired you to make this a thing?
Great. Well, our inspiration is really our own story. We know that music changes lives. It certainly has changed our lives. I am an immigrant. I learned English through singing. Wow. Jonathan learned to play the violin because someone walked into his kindergarten classroom at age
5. I went home and told my mom, I want to play the violin. And she said, you already play the piano. And I said, I want to play the violin, which it speaks to that whole desire coming from the child, and things stick that way. But music has a way of really connecting people and bonding people. It's so important, not just for the sake of music itself, which we can all agree with, but music also is a superpower in order to learn so many social and emotional things, as well as academic learning can be enhanced through the use of music.
And Jonathan, talk a little bit more about that, because for young people who are exposed to music, even if their life is not going to take them in the direction of a career in the arts or a career in music, why is music education so critical to a young child's development?
Absolutely. It's, we listen differently when music is involved. So people have the ability to learn languages so much easier when you're talking about adding music to that, the way you're learning it. In addition, people always talk about how music and math are connected, that they're very similar.
Right.
And if you think about kind of deep dive into how that is possible, sequencing is built into the language of music. Most of Western music is divided into sets of 8, and 8 can be split into 2 and 4 and 8, and you can put little pieces together into bigger pieces. And maybe that's part of it too. It's the whole idea of any skill you're going to learn, you have to break it down into its smallest pieces and put it back together. And this is what really the essence of practicing music is all about.
Well, we just saw some wonderful footage of these are little kids. Yes. What are the age ranges again? And you're really talking about, when you say start them young, you mean that?
0 to 6-year-olds. This concert that we want everybody in Houston to come to is especially done for ages 0 to 6-year-olds. We teach a research-based music and movement program called Music Together at the schools, all of the schools that we go to. We see about 2,600 children every single week. Wow. Throughout their school year. And we believe that all children are musical and all children have the ability to learn to sing in tune and move with accurate rhythm, so long as they have exposure and experimentation at that age is play. So that's what we provide, a learning environment where children can succeed in school. We add literacy skills to it, we add math skills to it, social emotional learning, and children are learning while they have a great time and they're keeping the beat in their body, really helping their emerging reading skills and of course social skills, because music helps us build community.
It checks so many boxes, and we can see just from the video, the eyes are lighting up. These young people, you can tell they're having a great time. I am always concerned when I hear about school districts cutting arts education. For me, it's very alarming because I am a student of the arts. I am a believer in the arts. So your organization, Prelude Music Foundation, you two essentially saw a need.
Yes.
And said, hey, we want to do something about this. So really give us the 411. Are you having events throughout the year, and how are you connecting with these young people who might not be exposed to music otherwise?
So the Prelude Music Foundation was born in 2014, 10 years ago, because we actually have a school of music for young children that we had started 7 years prior to that. When our own children were born, we wanted to have music experience for them. So we started Prelude Music Classes for Children, which is a wonderful, it's the same curriculum, Music Together, but it's in a family setting. So mom or dad or caregiver brings a young child, and we have these music experiences experiences with them. A few years into that, we decided we really want to be able to provide these experiences for people who could not afford to come and take a private music class with their child. So the Prelude Music Foundation was born, and we take that same curriculum into the public schools. And this is about 90% of the classrooms we see are pre-kindergarten classrooms. So it's pre-K3, pre-K4 children. And as you said, arts education's being cut and this and that. So, we really strongly believe that arts needs to be a part of, especially during that sensitive period of, 0 to 6, arts needs to be part of what we do. So essentially, we are also empowering those classroom teachers to use music as a way to supercharge their teaching in other subjects as well. If you think about a child who might not be able to speak, there are children who come from really troubled situations, and they come to school, and there was one child who we've heard from a principal, they had been coming to school for months and they've never heard this child's voice. And it wasn't until they had exposure to this music experience that all of a sudden that was unlocked, to the point where, during one of the concert experiences that we had, Anna put a microphone in front of that child and she sang in front of these hundreds and hundreds of people. This is someone who just a few months earlier had not made a sound in the school. So
it's incredible.
Yeah, it's really beautiful to see how people who have dyslexia issues or problems with math, trouble remembering your counting from 10 to 20 is always the challenging part, right? We can all get to 10, but then we get to 13, 15, 18, 20. If we put that to a tune, we can remember things differently. It lights up a different part of the brain. Instead of just that language development thing, I'm lighting up the whole thing as I go.
I can't even imagine how satisfying that is. Anna, Jonathan, we're totally out of time. How do we get involved, like in 5 seconds?
Please come to Miller Outdoor Theater
next week
it's
on
Tuesday and Wednesday at 11 a.m. and experience making music for young children ages 0 to 6. Come and sing with thousands of children. We would love to have them be a part of us, and look us up, Prelude Music Foundation.
Prelude Music Foundation. Anna, Jonathan, thank you so much. That's
Thank you
fantastic.
for having us.
We're going to put a link on our website. It's free, guys. Now